Today, we explore how tiny bacteria in a honeybee's gut might help them to fight harmful pesticides. Ready to jump into amazing experiments some honeybee researchers have done? Let's get started. Honeybees are constantly exposed to pesticides when they collect nectar and pollen. While these chemicals protect crops, they can seriously harm honeybees. But there is hope. Researchers are exploring whether bacteria in bees' digestive systems, known as lactic acid bacteria or LAB, can help detoxify these chemicals. The study was published in the journal Cells in 2022, a prestigious peer-reviewed open-access scientific journal on cell biology, molecular biology, and biophysics, and have as the leading author Dr. Aleksandra Leska from Poland. In the first experiment, scientists wanted to see if these bacteria could survive in the presence of pesticides. So they took 25 strains of lactic acid bacteria from the bees' environment and exposed them to 3 common pesticides: chlorpyrifos, comofos, and imidacloprid. And the results? All 25 strains of LAB showed incredible resilience. They managed to grow even in the presence of these harmful chemicals. This was the first sign that these bacteria might be key to protecting bees from pesticide exposure. Now, before I show you the second experiment, it is important to remember that no single scientific article ever tells the whole story. Science is an ongoing process, and only with time and more research can we get a clearer and more robust evaluation of any situation. It is up to all of us to keep looking for ways to improve the experiment and suggest new ones to complement or challenge the previous ones. So if you have thoughts or suggestions for further experiments, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. Now, here's where the things get really interesting. In the second experiment, the researchers wanted to know if these bacteria could actually bind to the pesticides and potentially detoxify them. Here is how it worked. The researchers took each strain of LAB and added them to a solution containing one of the 3 pesticides. These solutions were carefully prepared to simulate real-world concentration of these chemicals that honeybees might encounter in the environment. Then, they gave the bacteria time to interact with the pesticides. The idea was to see whether the bacteria could physically bind to the pesticide molecules, almost like grabbing onto them, and prevent them from spreading around. After allowing time for this interaction, the researchers measured how much of the pesticides was left unbound in the solution. And the results? Some strains of LAB were able to bind to up to 64% of the chlorpyrifos and comofos, meaning they were effectively trapping a large portion of these chemicals. Even with imidacloprid, which was tougher for the bacteria to bind, they managed to capture around 36% of it. What does this mean? Essentially, these bacteria are acting like sponges, soaking up the pesticides and preventing them from spreading throughout the bee's body. This could be a huge help for honeybees that are constantly exposed to pesticides in their environment. Before I move on, I want to give a big thank you to today's sponsor, Strong Microbials. Please check them out and perform your own experiment at home to see if these probiotics can have an effect on your own bees. The link in the description of this video. Let us know what you discovered. These 2 experiments are just the start. From the first experiment, we discovered that these bacteria can survive just fine in the presence of these toxic chemicals. And in the second experiment, we learned that these bacteria can actually take these chemicals away from the environment. What other questions were the researchers looking for answers to? Well, in the next video, we'll explore what happens when the researchers tested dead bacteria to see if they can still detoxify pesticides. Also, we will cover if this interesting phenomenon of bacteria absorbing pesticides could actually protecting living cells from the damage of these toxic chemicals. Click here to watch another video and continue your journey into the world of honeybee research. Don't miss out. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and sign up to my email list for more information. Thanks for watching. Inside the Hive.tv, the show about bees. See you guys next week.